Hello everyone, it's Simmuz here. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we are going to talk about 6 things that the Sims team kind of has forgotten about. But before jumping into the video, as always, if you want to support me, my channel and my content, and you want more people to see my videos, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and also comment down below whatever you think is one of the 5 things that the Sims has forgotten about. So let's go through them, let's talk about them, and let's give our own impressions and ideas. So for number 1, we're going to talk about limited events, and specifically the one brought upon us from the greatest sim that ever lived, Jasmine Holiday. So I think this was back in 2015 up to 2018. I think when Season was released, they kind of stopped doing these. We used to get limited events in game. So for a specific amount of time, like I'm talking like a week or a couple of weeks, we used to have these kind of holiday slash events in game that were presented by Jasmine Holiday. So Jasmine Holiday was this random NPC sim that you could encounter around the world. You could talk to her and she would give you some tasks to do, and those were related to the specific in-game event that if you took this task and did them, then in that case you could participate into the event. And I think some of these events are still kind of in the game, but not in the same way they were presented to us at first, and they're mostly like backlog now, like a little like stuff left behind basically. And I'm specifically talking about 3 that I can remember. I think there could have been more, but 3 of them really, like, I remember them completely and clearly, and those I think are all still kind of in the game in some way. So we have the first thing first, the Easter egg hunt. So we literally went around, clicked on items and found eggs, and that was fun because you went around, clicked on stuff, found eggs. That was fine. I believe with Seasons now, we have its own version of the Easter egg hunt because it's one of the possible things you can add to a holiday. So I don't know per se that it's still in the game. Then we have the Sugar Skulls, and that was for the Dia de los Muertos kind of event. And the same thing happened. You used to find Jasmine Holiday and she would tell you to collect Sugar Skull items, and you could go click around items and find Sugar Skulls. That's, I think it's still kind of in the game because you can still find Sugar Skulls here and there, especially if you ask for an offering at an urn or a gravestone. But overall it's not the same, because I remember then when you were finding Sugar Skulls, you would also have NPCs dress up like the Dias de los Muertos people with like makeup and full clothing and all of that, walking around the world. And that's something that's now not possible in the game. I don't think that happens still. So that is something that I kind of miss. And the last of these events was the Plant Sim event. So the Plant Sims were kind of brought back with one of the other things that I'm gonna talk later. But as of right now, the only way you have to become a Plant Sim is to buy, I think, the most expensive of the packets for seeds. Make sure you find the right seeds for the little red, blue, yellow, and whatever seeds. Put them in the trunk. Grate the tree, go into the tree, eat the plant sim fruit. So that's a little convoluted because you have to spend a lot of money. I believe at first when this was introduced, when plant sims were introduced with this event, the plant sim event, you would find these seeds way more easily, and you could get the trunk in your inventory automatically when you were talking to Jasmine Holiday. So that's something that we haven't seen basically ever since Seasons, and I kind of miss it because at this point I think it could bring something cute to do. Like, I like events in game, and I'm gonna talk more in depth about them with number 2, which is coming out later. But I still think we could have these kind of things in, especially for like a little holiday, and maybe they come in with a little added SDX drop to have some more stuff. For example, when we did the Dia de los Muertos one with the Sugar Skull offerings, we also got Dia de los Muertos outfit and makeup, and I think also a little doll item. And those like kind of neat and also little representation for Mexican culture, which is very nice to see. So having more of those events that also add a little bit to the game, I think it would be very fun, but we haven't gotten them in so long at this point. But let's talk about number two. We're talking about live concerts. So related to the limited events that we had in game, we also got a concert, if you probably don't know. So back in 2021, we had a concert in game. Yes, like the Fortnite concerts or the Roblox concerts. And I think it's so fun when they do this in games. Like, I love when Fortnite does it. I think they do always a great job, and it's a nice experience for fans as well of the person that it's doing the concert. Just go in game and see them for free, basically. Especially because we're talking about all games that are free to play, if I believe. I think the Roblox events, those are live, so you would be losing those because I think you're interacting directly with the singer. But the Fortnite ones and the Sims one that we got, the Sim Session one, those were all like for a limited period of time. You went into the game, you went to a specific place, and then boom, there was the concert. So this concert in The Sims had BB Rexa talk, like headlining basically this Simchella, can we call it that? And Glass Animals, I think, also was in the game, and there was other artists. I'm not remembering the name right now, but those were in the game, and you could see them and go to the concert with your Sims and listen to the songs in Simlish that they recorded. And I think that's so fun. And I know it's not really easy to do, but at this point they already have everything in the game to do it, because if you go into debug, you can look up and find the stage that they put up for the concert, and you can have the Sims, the artist Sims come back again. It doesn't work perfectly all the time, but it's still in the game. They have the technology to do that. I know it's not really easy to do and expensive, definitely, especially when you're talking about artists that are well known internationally. You probably have to pay them a decent amount of money to do this, but it was so fun. I kind of would love to see another one, especially because, as I said, I really kind of miss live events in general, and I think The Sims 4 now being free to play, it really makes sense. It's easy. I don't know. I think they could really do it easily, and I would love to see it. Okay, now let's dive more into the game, actual game mechanics thing, and what are the things that they have forgotten about. I want to talk about, first thing first, the scenarios. So if you don't know, scenarios are a little challenge that you can see in the game when you load in. Basically, if you load in The Sims 4 right now, you have the possibility of starting a scenario, and they have like little challenges, and they give you a list of things that you have to do in the game, or a goal that you have to reach in some way. And they're fun little challenges to have a little bit more gameplay, a little bit more varied, and some ideas for new players especially. So they started these scenarios, I think, in 2021 or 2022, around that time. And we got a bunch of them, even some that were like for a limited period of time only. But some of them are forever and you can still play them. The thing is, they haven't really added anymore, especially last year. I was thinking in 2023 we really didn't see any new scenarios. I know there's not like, you cannot have like thousands and thousands of different ideas, but especially when you have a new pack coming out, you should promote it with a couple of scenarios that are related to it. For example, with Horse Ranch, they could have gotten like a scenarios that is about horses if you have the pack. And it's also a great way, in my opinion, to just promote the pack if you really want people to buy it. But we haven't really seen any new scenarios that I know of, and it's kind of sad because on one hand, it's not like the most revolutionary thing ever, but it was a fun little addition, and we don't really have any challenges in the game right now. I think kind of in the same vein of the scenarios, we're also going to talk about pack refreshes. So I was a firm believer that we were going to get more refreshes after we got the Spa Day one, but apparently the Sims team didn't really do that. So I have a few videos actually where I go in depth of what I think a good refresh could be, what refreshes I would like to see for packs that we already have. And yeah, those are all worthless because apparently we are not getting any more. I know they never said explicitly that they would do more refreshes in the future, and the Spa Day was one of the ones that people wanted the most. But I think there's a lot of other packs that could really benefit from it. And even the base game, I think, could do with a refresh, especially when we're talking about textures and all of that, especially in hair, the clothes. Like, all of that stuff could be refreshed. We're talking about a game that is 10 years old, so refreshes, I know, are on one hand, for them, a waste of time, quote unquote, because they're not making new content for people to purchase, but it's great quality of life for the game. For example, with Spade, it was a pack that didn't really do much, it didn't have many items, it wasn't really worth buying, so I'm sure when they did the refresh, a lot of people were interested in it and started buying it. I don't know, maybe it didn't pan out like they wanted to, they thought more people were going to buy Spade after the refresh, it didn't work out, so they stopped with the refresh plan, or maybe it was just one, I don't know. But I would like to see more refreshes, and if you're interested to know my ideas, obviously I'm going to link the video where I talk about it. It's a little old, but I think it all fits still, especially because the newer packs really don't need a refresh right now. Another thing that they really forgotten about is hidden words. If you don't know, in The Sims 4, there is 4 hidden words that you can access in some way, and these are all from either base game or very old packs, and after they did that, they never done it again. So we have the Sylvian Glade and the Forgotten Grotto. These two are from the base game. Sylvian Glade is accessible from a tree in Willow Creek, if I'm not mistaken. You just have to talk to the tree a few times, water it, and then you go through the tunnel, you access the Sylvian Glade. Then we have the Forgotten Grotto. The Forgotten Grotto is accessible from Oasis Spring near the park, if I believe, and you have to have maxed out handiness skill to access it, but then you can still access it and go through and, you know, play in this new different world. Both of them are just basically a hidden lot in a different spot, but they are fun. They're a little addition, they're little secrets that if you don't know they are there, you cannot really access them easily, and they are, I kind of like them. I think they're neat. Same goes for other 2 words. The first one that I'm going to talk about this is Simmuz, and Simmuz is available with Get to Work, so the first expansion pack that we got, and is the alien word. So if you upgrade your rocket ship and you fly out to space, you can access Simmuz and go to this alien world. Again, it's only one lot. It's not really, there's not really so much to do there, but I think it's kind of fun. The last hidden word, I'm gonna call it, is the Hermit Hut. So if you own Outdoor Retreat, which is the first game pack, there is a hidden lot for the Hermit Hut, and you go there and there's a hermit, you can talk to them, they have a nice garden, and that's such a neat little thing, because if you don't really know about it, it's not really easy to go there, because I believe it's hidden either behind a waterfall or something like that, so it's not really accessible easily through the game if you don't know. But if you do know, you can go there, hang out, check out this like nice little house. I don't know, I think it's kind of fun, and they kind of did some of these things. I know there is 2 of the caves. We have the cave in Island Living and a cave in Horse Ranch now, and those are accessible, but your sim just travels through them like a rabbit hole, and you get pop-ups, so it's not really like there's not an end goal of getting to a word like some of these have. Like you don't get to a secret lot. And they kind of did it also with the Mount Komorebi Summit, because if you go there, there is a hidden lot there. But again, that's not hidden because it's one of the things that you kind of have to do if you want to do the aspirations. These other words are hidden, like if you don't know about them, you're never gonna find them out. So I kind of want to see more hidden words, so I'm cross my fingers that we see some of them soon. I was really hoping for one with Island Living for mermaids. I thought that was gonna happen, but it didn't. I guess, talking about occults, Spellcaster do have a kind of hidden word, we can call it, which is the Magic Realm, obviously. But it's not really the same because it's part of the gameplay. It's not some place that you can go to if you want. It's like something that you have to go to. So the last thing that I'm going to talk about, it's probably the more serious one, and this is pronouns in every language. So yes, we have pronouns, custom pronouns in The Sims 4 in English. So if you're playing the game in English, you can choose the pronoun for your own sim, and you can use he, him, she, her, they, them, or also custom pronouns as well, which is very nice to have. And when they introduced this, they said they were going to expand it to all languages as soon as possible, or as, slowly integrate them to all the languages. So the pronoun update came out in 2022. So at this point, it's almost 2 years since we got that promise. So it's awesome that we have them in English, and I really, really love that. And it's great representation, and I'm super, super thankful that they did that, because not many games really do that. So it's just very, very awesome that they did it. But they did promise that they were coming out for other languages, as so far only English has custom pronouns. All the other languages don't. And I, as someone that is Italian and speaks Italian, but also knows French, I know that the Romance languages are going to be so hard, because everything in that language is gendered. And I'm not talking about only like the pronouns, also the adjectives and the adverbs, sometimes verbs, articles. There's so much stuff that is going to be gendered, because everything is gendered in these languages. So I understand it's going to take a lot of messing around to make sure they work. But I also know that there are other languages where there isn't that much genderization of the language. So the pronouns are different, but the rest of the words aren't. So it's the same case as in English. So I really don't understand why some of these languages don't have custom pronouns already. Especially I'm thinking German, because if I'm not mistaken, German doesn't really have any changes between masculine and feminine. There obviously there are different pronouns for male and female, but there aren't changes in the words when you use the male or a female pronoun. So that is the same as in English, so it would work the same way, but we don't have custom pronouns in German. So I don't understand exactly. I don't understand if they're waiting to have all of them ready in all the languages and drop them all together, or if they are not working on them anymore. The thing is, they really talked about being open to conversation and talking about this, and then they didn't really update us anymore. It's been almost 2 years at this point. I'm saying at this point, basically 2 years since the update came out, and we didn't really have any info. So yeah, hopefully we're going to see custom pronouns added to all the languages soon. I don't know. I really don't know at this point. But this is the video. These were my 6 things that the Sims team seems to have forgotten about. Which one was your favorite? Let me know in the comments what you would like to see come back, if live events, if scenarios, if refreshes, if custom pronouns. What do we want the Sims team to work on? And also, if you have other things that I might have forgotten about myself as well, let me know in the comments down below if there are other things that the Sims team has forgotten about and I've forgotten about, and let's talk about them. And of course, as always, let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions or idea for other videos, because I really like doing the things that you want to watch, because those are my favorite videos to make. But this is it. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.